Everyone, welcome to this press conference following the first accession conference with the Republic of Moldova. With us in this press room today for the Moldovan delegation, the Prime Minister, Dorin, RECEAN, for the European Union and the Belgian Presidency, the Belgian Foreign and European Affairs Minister, Hadja, LAHBIB, and for the Commission, European Commissioner, VÁRHELYI. I will first give the floor to Minister LAHBIB, then to the Commissioner, and then to the Prime Minister for their readout of this first intergovernmental conference, and then we will take some questions. Minister, please.
Thank you, Alexandre. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really honored to have shared this first intergovernmental conference with the Republic of Moldova. Today is a historic occasion as we launch accession negotiations between Moldova and the European Union. This is an important milestone in our relationship, built on a foundation of mutual respect and shared values. I would like to express, like all the member states did during this intergovernmental conference, my deep appreciation for Moldova's commitment and remarkable progress. Over the years, we have built an ever closer relationship. Since 2009, indeed, Moldova has been an even closer partner through the Eastern Partnership. The association agreement in force since 2016 has also deepened our relations. And last December, the 27 EU leaders decided to open negotiations with Moldova and to support its perspective of EU membership. And today, we take the first step towards our common future. Enlarging our union is an investment in peace, security, stability and prosperity. EU enlargement is a driving force for improving the lives of all citizens, reducing inequality and strengthening the values on which our common union is built. There is no doubt that Moldova is an integral part of Europe with a shared history, a shared heritage and a shared culture. The benefits of our close relationship are already clear. The EU is Moldova's largest trading partner, offering significant opportunities for business and foreign investment. Travel to the EU has become easier since visa liberalisation in 2014, and the EU continues to provide financial and technical assistance through various instruments as well. Since the beginning of Russia's aggression of Ukraine, the EU has provided substantial assistance to help Moldova address the challenges it also faces. I commend Moldova for its firm stance against the Russian aggression and its alignment with the EU's common foreign and security policy. And I also welcome Moldova's significant efforts to welcome and accommodate those fleeing the war. Even in the face of these difficult times, Moldova has shown unwavering commitment to its European part and to our shared values. And now, going back to today's meeting, we presented the negotiating framework that will guide the accession talks with Moldova. We discussed how Moldova will fully adopt and implement the EU acquis. We touched on important reforms that need to be completed, including in the areas of the rule of law, the judiciary, and the fight against corruption. We are all well aware that accession negotiations are a rigorous and demanding process, but we are confident that Moldova can succeed thanks to the determination and commitment of its people. So we look forward to supporting Moldova in its efforts and to welcoming you as a full member of the European Union. I'm convinced that together we will build a stronger and more united Europe. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, dear Prime Minister, dear Minister LAHBIB, dear friends, dear ladies and gentlemen. We're here today to witness the first Intergovernmental Conference with the Republic of Moldova. This means the first round of the accession negotiations. So today we have launched the actual accession negotiations between the EU and Moldova, following the decision of the European Council in December last year. And it also means that this is the beginning of a new journey for which the destination is Moldova's membership to the European Union. I want to thank the Prime Minister, I want to thank the Moldovan government, who have been committed to move fast and implement comprehensive reforms all the way. I would also like to thank the Belgian presidency for leading the discussions and creating the conditions for this Intergovernmental Conference to take place today. I also want to appreciate the strong engagement of all EU member states in this process and their agreement to move ahead. This Intergovernmental Conference is the recognition of Moldova's continued progress on the reform path, and Moldova has fulfilled the required steps to open the accession negotiations. Moldova's achievements are especially notable as it faces challenges from Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine and destabilization attempts against Moldova. Our message to Moldova and the people of Moldova is that you should continue on this path and that we are ready to take the next steps with you. I want to assure you that the European Commission will continue to assist Moldova every step of the way. Already in 2 weeks, together we will launch the next step of the enlargement process, which is the so-called bilateral screening of the EU acquis. Prime Minister, I would like to count on you, your team, to make the accession process inclusive by working with all the stakeholders, including all parties in the Parliament, local communities and the civil society. Negotiations are of a transformative nature and they are supposed to be a transformative process. They will, I'm sure, have a positive impact on your society and economy already from the very beginning. They will bring tangible benefits to the citizens and the businesses alike throughout the process. We also will continue our cooperation under the Economic and Investment Plan, which has by now mobilized €1.5 billion in public and private investments in key sectors such as energy, transport and access to finance for businesses. Let me conclude by saying that we look forward to continue cooperating closely with you towards our common objective, which is a prosperous future for the people of Moldova within the European Union. Thank you.
Now we'll give the floor to the Prime Minister, but just a remark in his introductory statement. He will say a few words in Romanian. There's no translation, but he will then repeat those in English, I believe.
Thank you. Dear Minister LAHBIB and dear Commissioner VÁRHELYI, today marks an important step in our journey toward EU membership, and our country, Moldova, having diligently completed all the recommendations, has officially commenced accession talks with the European Union. And I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to both teams in Brussels and in Chisinau for these tremendous efforts and hard work to make today's event possible. And their hard work and commitment have brought us to this significant milestone. We say that this is a historic moment for Moldova, but this happens in historic times for Europe and for European Union. My sincere appreciations extend to European Council and each member state. also to the European Commission and to the Belgian presidency. Thank you very much. And I would like to extend my appreciation to the thousands of people in the Moldovan institutions who are working tirelessly day and night to make Moldova part of the EU family. We trust EU enlargement is a process important not only for candidate countries like Moldova or Ukraine, but also for the European Union itself. By integrating more countries, the EU extends its zone of stability to a wider region. A larger Europe means a more peaceful, a more powerful and a more prosperous Europe. A larger Europe is a more secure, more prosperous for all the countries and all EU citizens. With the help of our European friends, we are transforming Moldova into a country that takes responsibility for enhancing Europe's security while creating new opportunities. We are becoming a resilient country which will in turn ensure sustainable economic growth, and Moldova is rich in talent, in innovation, in determination, and we are harnessing these strengths to drive progress. Our doors are open for investments and economic cooperation. We are fostering a business-friendly and predictable environment, embracing our shared European values. Dear colleagues, at this special occasion, please allow me to address our Moldovan people, who are the real champions of our country's European integration. Dragi cetățeni care sunteți acasă sau care sunteți în diasporă, în toate satele și orașele lumii. Azi am trecut într-o nouă etapă care ne apropie semnificativ de aderarea la Uniunea Europeană. Conferința interguvernamentală Uniunea Europeană-Republica Moldova de astăzi fixează începerea oficială a negocierilor de aderare și demonstrează că avem capacitatea să construim până în 2030 Europa la noi acasă. Avem capacitatea să construim un stat cu adevărat european. Datorită muncii enorme a miilor de oameni din instituțiile noastre și din cele europene, am îmbunătățit legislația și instituțiile noastre pentru cetățenii Republicii Moldova și în acest fel ne-am aliniat recomandărilor Uniunii Europene. Eu sunt recunoscător echipelor de la Chișinău și Bruxelles pentru fermitatea și dăruirea care au făcut posibil acest moment important în calea noastră spre familia europeană. Știm că această cale este lungă, însă este singura pentru Republica Moldova. Cetățenii noștri au ales întotdeauna pacea, democrația și libertatea. Acum 2 ani, când Kremlinul a început un război inuman în țara vecină, noi toți am realizat, odată în plus, că doar aderarea la Uniunea Europeană oferă șansa de a trăi în pace și bunăstare la noi acasă. Președinta Maia Sandu a trasat un obiectiv la prima vedere mult prea ambițios: să fim pregătiți de aderare până în 2030. Într-adevăr, avem de parcurs un traseu complex, o cursă contra cronometru, în care trebuie să rezistăm în fața amenințărilor hibride ale Kremlinului, să menținem democrațiile în condițiile unor continue încercări de destabilizare și să modernizăm țara în același timp. Continuăm să fim alături de prietenii noștri ucraineni care în fiecare zi, dar în fiecare zi luptă și se sacrifică pentru a apăra viața și pacea, pentru valorile europene, libertate și dreptul unui popor de a-și decide singur soarta. Vom reuși prin solidaritate și sprijin reciproc. Și nu suntem singuri. Avem susținerea constantă a partenerilor europeni. Moldova se poate baza pe ajutorul imens oferit de Uniunea Europeană. Moldova vine însă și cu contribuția proprie la o Europă mai unită, mai rezilientă și mai puternică. Aderarea Republicii Moldova la UE înseamnă un nou membru care contribuie la pacea, securitatea și prosperitatea din întreaga regiune de sud-est a Europei. Negocierile începute azi, un proces tehnic și complex, au drept scop fundamental coordonarea politicilor Republicii Moldova și Uniunii Europene pentru îmbunătățirea nivelului de trai pentru cetățenii noștri. Fiecare capitol de negociere închis va însemna rezultate vizibile. Prioritatea Republicii Moldova este creșterea rezilienței și competitivității economice. Ne propunem integrarea cât mai rapidă a economiei noastre în piața unică europeană pentru a crește exporturile, pentru a ne dezvolta economia și a genera creștere economică. Vom depune eforturi pentru a ne integra în piața unică, ceea ce va aduce avantaje directe pentru cetățenii și companiile din țara noastră, încă dinainte de ziua aderării propriu-zise. Vom accelera valorificarea oportunităților oferite de programele sectoriale din Uniunea Europeană, în care Republica Moldova este deja parte, în special proiectele de schimb academic și cultural sau cele care aduc oamenii noștri mai aproape unii de alții. Bună oară! Într-un timp record am reușit reducerea substanțială a tarifelor la roaming în Uniunea Europeană și în continuare vom lucra pentru programe care aduc beneficii directe cetățenilor. Un capitol important de care depinde nu doar aderarea la Uniunea Europeană, ci este condiția de bază a creării unei societăți juste în Moldova, unde toți sunt egali în fața legii, este reforma justiției. Lupta noastră pentru un sistem de justiție independent, integru, care combate eficient corupția, va continua. Doar pentru a închide cu succes acest capitol de negociere, vom depune acest efort și mai ales pentru ca cetățenii să simtă supremația legii. Dragi cetățeni, realizarea de astăzi ne arată un lucru important, că eforturile noastre aduc roade. Moldovenii de mult timp apără valorile în care cred, valorile europene și muncesc pentru a ne apropia de Uniunea Europeană. Am mers înainte cu siguranță într-un viitor european. Acum vedem clar că acest viitor este nu doar posibil, ci este tot mai aproape. Conferințele interguvernamentale, negocierile capitolelor, discuțiile între instituțiile noastre și cele europene sunt o normalitate pe care o așteptăm de mult. Nu doar să visăm la lumea liberă, ci să facem parte de ea. În toamnă, voința poporului va confirma acest viitor al nostru și Uniunea Europeană ne poate ajuta să ajungem mai repede o țară puternică, independentă, unde pacea și prosperitatea sunt garantate. Statele membre ale Uniunii Europene deja asigură aceste lucruri pentru cetățenii europeni, iar până în 2030 trebuie să fim pregătiți ca Moldova să devină europeană și toți cetățenii moldoveni să se simtă europeni. Noi vom fi pregătiți pentru acel moment, să facem parte din marea familie europeană. Thank you for allowing me to address people of Moldova in Romanian and an official language of European Union. In concluding, I would like to say that today marks a pivotal advancement in Moldova's journey towards European Union membership as we officially begin accession negotiations. And this effort reflects the dedication of both Moldovan and EU teams who have tirelessly worked to align our nation with EU standards and build a European Moldova at home. As we move forward, the negotiations will be transparent and inclusive, reflecting the collective will of our people who have long awaited this moment. We're confident in our future within the EU, assured that by 2030 Moldova will be ready to join the European family as a strong, independent state embodying peace and prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Commissioner. We'll now take some questions. We'll start with you, please. Yes, the mic is just there. Can you please mention your name, your media, and whom you're addressing the question to, please?
Yes, sure. Just a second. So my name is Yulia Sarivan from Journal TV, Republic of Moldova. Domnul RECEAN, întrebarea este atât pentru dumneavoastră cât și pentru colegii dumneavoastră. În cazul unui eșec al referendumului din această toamnă, aveți un plan B? Și ce credeți, iarăși în cazul acestui eșec, vom avea aceeași soartă pe care o are acum Georgia? Va veni un răspuns din partea Uniunii Europene? And now in English for Mrs. LAHBIB and Mr. VÁRHELYI. In case of a negative result of the upcoming referendum in this autumn, do you think Moldova will have the same fate like Georgia now? And do you think we can become a full member state by 2030 in a case like this? And if you think we should have a plan B in a case of a negative result? Thank you.
Mulțumesc foarte mult. Vreau să proiectez optimism și acest optimism se bazează pe munca dificilă, complexă, dar foarte și foarte importantă, pe care noi cu toții, ca societate, trebuie să o realizăm și în acest fel să construim Uniunea Europeană acasă. Condițiile de muncă, condițiile de trai, condițiile de servicii publice în medicină, în asistență socială. Și atunci, cu siguranță, vom reuși să construim Moldova acasă și să facem Moldova partea Uniunii Europene. I will say it for our friends. My answer was that it is by hard work of everyone in the Moldovan society that we will make sure that we build European Moldova and we build services, public services in Moldova like we like to see it in Europe. And in this way we will make sure that Moldova will become an EU country, a member country.
Sorry,
Thank you.
Just o precizare. So we don't have a plan B.
What will be the plan B?
Iulia, eu vreau să am o rugăminte la dumneavoastră personal, ca Jurnal TV, de dimineață și până în noapte, să ajute societatea din Republica Moldova să înțeleagă care sunt avantajele și care sunt lucrurile pe care trebuie să le facem noi toți ca și societate. Să ne asigurăm că în 2030 să fim pregătiți pentru aderarea la Uniunea Europeană. Promiteți asta? Da sau nu?
Noi ne facem munca.
Thank you. Well, a negative referendum, this is, I don't want to joke too much about it, but you know, it's a very Central European way of putting a question. When you are preparing for a referendum and you are interested, what if it goes wrong? I think the focus is now elsewhere. The focus is that with this referendum, the people of Moldavia will have not only the chance to express their support for the European Union publicly, which is much more than just an opinion poll that you see appearing almost every month, but also a way to contribute for Moldavia to become a member of the European Union. So the people will be able to push the government and the whole administration to make it happen. So it's a unique opportunity, and I do hope that everybody will make full use of it. Judging from the opinion polls, I wouldn't expect a negative referendum. On the contrary, I think with everything we have been doing lately, we can only confirm that Moldova is on track. So now it is for the people to express themselves which direction they would like the country to go. In terms of Plan Bs and other similarities, I think it's not for us to make a Plan B. We have no Plan B. This is our plan, what we are now implementing. On 2030, Well, this is a strategic choice that is just being made, because you see that a new commission is just about to be formed. This is the year when the mandate of this commission ends and when a new commission will step in. My personal hope is that the next commission will be an enlargement commission. And it is taking shape now as the program and the leaders of the next commission are about to be elected and adopted. And I do hope that this will be confirmed. And if it is confirmed, it means that at the end of the mandate of the next commission, we will have new members in the European Union. So before you ask a follow-up question, the end of the mandate of the next Commission is the 31st of October 2029. But this date is not a date that is a self-fulfilling prophecy. This is a possibility to join. It means that the criteria will have to be met by all the candidate countries who would want to join by then, including Moldova.
It's not our role to speculate about a plan B, but I've been traveling in Moldova less than 1 year ago. I was in Moldova. I met members of the government, and what I remember was the strong commitment of the government, but also the strong wish of the population to be part of the European Union. So I think that this wish is still alive. And so let's see what will happen during this referendum.
Thank you.
Moving on to the next question. Just a small remark. We jointly agreed that there would be no simultaneous translation. So if it's possible to ask your question in English, we are also live for the moment. So that would be much appreciated. We'll take the lady in yellow and then Camille.
Svetlana Gore, TVR Moldova. I have a question for Prime Minister Dorin. What are the main challenges you see in the negotiation process, and how do you intend to address them to ensure an efficient transition towards EU membership? For the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Belgium, how will be ensured effective monitoring of the implementation of the necessary reforms in Moldova, considering the rigorous standards imposed and that you spoke about? And for the European Commissioner for Enlargement, what specific expectations do you have from Moldova in the bilateral screening process, and if has been established already a deadline?
To overcome the to make it for a short answer, to overcome the challenges that we will face along the implementation of the acquis communautaire, first is to implement as soon as possible the justice reform, to have the system cleaned up to ensure rule of law. That is one thing. And the other thing is to make sure that we have enough administrative capacity to make sure that the acquis communautaire is properly implemented and is allowing for the society and for the business environment to properly adjust to the new rules and regulations. This is the task of the government, to push for the justice reform to ensure sustainability and to organize the proper management of these processes. Thank you.
When it comes to the standards, today, it's just a first step. It was the opening a dialogue, the first dialogue on the negotiating framework. So it's just a first step, even if it's an historic one, because it's opened the door. But there are 35 chapters, as you know, and it will be the work of the Commission to follow and to be vigilant and to follow the different reforms, and Belgium has opened an embassy also. I was there less than 1 year ago to open an embassy in Chisinau, so it will also allow us to closely monitor the situation and to have following up.
On the screening, I think it is imminent, meaning within a couple of weeks we will have the first session. The purpose of the exercise will be to sit down and look at the acquis communautaire, so the EU law, one by one, and find out how they are going to be implemented in Moldova, by what time, under what conditions, and with what enforcement capacity. Already the Prime Minister pointed to the need to not only create a legislative timetable, but also how the country is going to be able to enforce on the ground EU rules. Now, maybe to complement what the Minister has just said on the monitoring. We have our tools at hand. The annual reporting of enlargement will continue. This year we will have the next report coming in October as usual, and we will continue to report on all of the candidate countries. On top of it, we have in the accession negotiations embedded reporting exercises, for example on the rule of law area, and before every intergovernmental conference, the Commission is to report on the fundamentals cluster to the Council. On top of it, of course, we are doing also ad hoc reporting as we go ahead. And when opening clusters, there's a full screening report to be delivered by the Commission. So I think monitoring reporting is only going to get even stronger and even more extensive on our side.
Next question for Camille. And we have translation in French and English.
Great, oui, bonjour Camille sur G5, Agence Europe. Oui, excusez-moi. J'avais une question d'abord pour le Premier ministre. Je voulais savoir, on a vu qu'il y avait des interférences étrangères dans votre pays. Je voulais savoir ce que vous allez mettre en place avant les élections, avant le référendum, pour éviter que ça n'ait un impact sur cette élection. Et on a vu aussi que certains Moldaves avaient participé à des actions hybrides en Europe, en particulier en France. Je voulais savoir ce que vous faites pour empêcher que ça se reproduise, et si le commissaire et la présidence belge veulent aussi intervenir et expliquer ce que fait l'Union européenne pour aider la Moldavie à lutter contre les interférences étrangères. Merci beaucoup.
I will answer in English if you allow me. Thank you very much for the question. This is a very important concern of ours, is how to face the hybrid attacks of Kremlin. Yes, there are no bombs and rockets falling on the Moldovan ground, but Kremlin deployed the full range of hybrid attacks, starting from cyber threats to disinformation, propaganda, trying to destabilize the country through various activities. We are strengthening our capability for home affairs and security, but also to defend our digital infrastructure, and also to have a strategic communication unit to face the propaganda war of Kremlin. We do have assistance from the European Union in the form of the EUPM mission that is helping strengthening our capabilities to properly respond to these kind of threats. I think we also can be useful for the other countries that are, you're referring France and other countries in the European Union that are facing similar threats. Thank you.
Brièvement, on est effectivement bien au courant des menaces dont est victime la Moldavie, pour la bonne raison que la ministre des Affaires étrangères ici présente est venue nous en faire part il y a peu, en marge d'un conseil Affaires étrangères ou d'un conseil affaires générales, je ne sais plus, comme je fais les deux, je ne sais plus. Mais donc, on est bien conscient, nous en sommes victimes, nous aussi, vous le savez. Nous savons aussi, suite aux enquêtes qui ont été menées, que effectivement des activités ont été commises sur le sol français, entre autres. Nous savons aussi que des députés ont été corrompus au sein même de parlements, parfois belges, parfois européens. Donc des enquêtes sont en cours. Nous avons aussi, sous notre présidence, voté en faveur de tout ce qui est le paquet défense de la démocratie pour mettre en place toutes les mesures nécessaires pour protéger notre système démocratique, y compris les élections. Et on en a parlé encore tout à l'heure, donc de toute une série de directives qu'on est en train de décider sous notre présidence et qui va continuer bien sûr sous la présidence hongroise, pour définir quelles sont les directives, les bases de données que nous pouvons établir pour pallier à toutes les interférences étrangères, y compris bien sûr les Russes.
The Prime Minister already listed a number of tools through which we are also helping Moldova. First is the Strategic Communication Cooperation, the other one is the EU-BAM mission that we have in place. But I would also like to draw your attention to the fact that we have significantly increased also our contribution when it comes to internal security. We have increased the budget and also we are helping Moldova to get the tools with which they can defend themselves in the cyber area. And of course, the Moldovan elections and the referendum are generating quite a bit of interest on the other side of the border. But we trust the administration that it will be able to defend the country from it. Thank you.
And we'll take a very last question, the lady in white, please.
Mihaela Rudenko, TV8. My first question is for Mr. Prime Minister. It doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to speak louder. My first question is for you, Mr. Prime Minister. Doesn't work? Okay. What do good and qualitative negotiations mean for the citizens of Moldova? What do good and qualitative negotiations mean for the citizens of the Republic of Moldova?
Okay. So, shall I spell it out again? So, look, today's event is a result of the fact that Moldova implemented a number of changes in the way the institutions work, in the quality of the public service that Moldovan government is providing. There were two very important dimensions of this. First is the rule of law, fighting corruption, and we have a number of achievements in this sense. The other thing is the assistance that we have had in order to make our institutions work better for our citizens. So, and today this is a sign of the fact that Moldova, once implementing reforms for its own people, we get to the Intergovernmental Conference today. As we negotiate the implementation of the acquis communautaire, this trend of improving the public service and bringing more benefits to the people will only continue. And when we are ready to become a full member of the European Union family, this will mean that by that time we would have built the conditions for our people, for our businesses, but also the same conditions for other Europeans, the same in Moldova, like it is in any other EU member state. Thank you.
About the main threat, I think that it's Russia and interferences. We've seen that, we are talking about that, and especially regarding the referendum. And so this is the main threat, in my opinion, and also to maintain the political will and the political courage to take the reforms. We all know that it's a hard path, but very necessary, so there is no shortcut. It's only on merit-based. So this is the first step. It's a historic one, but we need to ensure that there is still the long way to go, a strong political will. And we can help, of course, as a fundator of the European Union. Belgium is ready to help on this administrative, to reinforce maybe the administrative capacities, because we know that it's required also administrative works to integrate the EU acquis and all the directives and reforms policies needed and so on. So about what it will give to the Moldovan people, I think a lot of things: stability, prosperity, liberty, discover another way of life, to be part of this union of prosperity and freedom.
Well, we do hope that the people, the life of the people will change. And I think some of it you have already seen. For example, your inclusion in the roaming area is a characteristic of what is to expect. This is why we have made a proposal for the gradual integration, meaning that in all areas where the country complies already with the conditions of the single market, so it introduces the same rules as we have in the EU, already before accession, we should be able to open the possibilities for the businesses and the people of Moldova to enjoy the benefits. There's one area in which we're working, for example, in the Western Balkans, that is the single euro payment area, with which only in the Western Balkans we can save €500 million of costs in terms of transfers between the EU and the Western Balkans. This is something we can also do with Moldova. But if you ask me about the big challenges, I listed, I think, 3. The first is to strengthen the economy, and this is something we discussed over coffee with the Prime Minister again. This is our favorite topic. We always start with this, and that is how to make Moldova's economy more resilient. So strengthening the economy, I think, is paramount. In that comes the second priority, which is energy sovereignty. Because, of course, it is through the energy system that malign foreign influence has been exercised the most. The country has come a long way. Moldova is now able to receive gas, so primary energy resource, from elsewhere, from Western Europe, which it already does. Now comes the second step, which is to create its own electricity generation capacity, doing away with the dependence on supplier from outside. The third one, I would say, is very much what Minister LAHBIB said, and that is to continue with the reforms, because the reforms should bring, through the rule of law reforms, through the market reforms, should bring investments and prosperity into the country. Because as you go along, you will create trust for foreign direct investors, and they will bring you jobs, and they will bring you growth. And this will be felt, if I want to come back to your first question, this will be felt immediately by the people of Moldova.
Sorry for those who still had questions, including online, but we will have to close it here. Thank you very much, Prime Minister, Commissioner and Minister. The Belgian presidency is not over yet, so we will see you tomorrow in Brussels for the 16th Intergovernmental Conference with Montenegro. See you then. Safe travels and see you soon in the press room.